Let's teach. So in this session, we'll be basically dealing with solving this Euclidean geometry, right? So what basically they want us to do on this, basically, we are gonna make sure that we are calculating the values of the unknown. So what basically we are actually having here, all grade 9s, is that we are having a figure that wants us to calculate the values of the unknown. So one thing that is good with regards to geometry is that you are not restricted to where one should start. So you start where you want, as long as you're having a lot of information with regards to that. So I can start by calculating the size of what? The size of angle A1. So as you can see, we're having parallel lines right there. And then since we're having parallel lines, you know that A1 is going to be equals to what? It's going to be equals to that 20 degrees, because those are alternating angles, right? So I'm just going to say angle A1 is equals to what? A1 is equals to 20 degrees. Remember that in geometry, each and every statement should be accompanied by the reason. So that will be alternate angles are equal. So we are saying this because these are alternating angles, right? So those alternating angles are equal. Alternating angles are equal. Sorry for that. Then now, as we continue, after you get your angle, you can basically try to go and write it on the diagram to say that is what? That is 20 degrees, so that it can make your work to be much easier. And then here, they gave us this to say this angle right here, it's a box that is represented by 90 degrees. When they write it like that, you must have an understanding to say when we add angle A1 plus when we add angle A2, it's going to be equals to 90 degrees. So it's actually given. It's actually given. And then after that, what basically you can do, you can now substitute in a place of A1, we put 20. So that will be 20 degrees plus angle A2 is equals to 90 degrees. And then from there, you're going to say angle A2 is equals to, we write 90 degrees, take 20, transpose it that side, changes the sign to become minus 20 degrees. Therefore, angle A2 is equals to, and now we are subtracting. We're going to say 90 degrees minus 20 degrees. We're going to get that being 70 degrees. So it means to say the size of angle A2, that will be 70 degrees right here, right? And then just because of now, you know, okay, if these angles are perpendicular to each other, they must add up to 90 degrees. When you add 70 plus 20, it must give you 90 degrees, right? Then as you can continue, where can we go from here? We are still having this as parallel lines. Remember, these are parallel lines. Let me show you. So these two are parallel lines. So when these two are parallel lines, we know that when we add 85 plus angle C2, it must give us 180 degrees. That will be co-interior angles supplementary. So I'm just going to say angle C2 plus 85 degrees, it's equals to what? 180 degrees. Why am I saying that? So these are co-interior angles supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. So when you say co-interior angles are supplementary, it means to say they add up to 180 degrees. And then now you calculate the value of angle C2. So that will be C2 is equals to 180 degrees minus 85, because you're going to take positive 85, transpose it that side, it changes the sign to become negative. Therefore, the size of angle C2 is equals to, now we're going to say 180 degrees minus 85. We're getting 95 degrees. So that will be 95 degrees. So it means to say the size of angle C2, that's going to be what? That's going to be 95 degrees. So you can basically go there, where there is C2, you can basically write to say this angle right here. It's going to be 95 degrees. And then after that, we can now calculate the angle C1 because we know that adjacent angles on a straight line is 180. When I add C1 plus C2, I must get 180 degrees. So I'm just going to say angle C1 plus angle C2 is equals to 180 degrees. Don't forget that each and every statement should be accompanied by the result. So that is adjacent angles on a straight line. You can abbreviate it if you want, right? And then we check angle what? Angle C1 is the one that is unknown. We're just going to write angle C1 plus, and then with regards to angle C2, we can see that angle C2, we got what? We got 95 degrees. So you're going to write 95 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. Then that will be angle C1 is equals to 180 and then minus 95 degrees. Therefore, the value of angle C1 is equals to 180 minus 95. We say 180 minus 95 degrees. We are getting 85 degrees. 85 degrees. So it means to say the size of angle C1 is going to be 85 degrees. So here we're just going to write 85 degrees. So why am I saying again it's 85 degrees? Remember, the mean ways to kill a cat in Euclidean geometry, right? And then here, just because of you understand, okay, these are parallel lines. Someone will say angle C1 is equals to 85 degrees. That is alternating angles. So let me just write it even here. So method number 2, you can decide to say myself, I prefer to write it like this. So that is going to be method number 2. Someone will just say, basically, as I've explained, to say C1 is equals to 85 degrees. Alternating angles equal. So you can say C1 equals to 85 degrees. Then that will be alternating angles are equal. So can you see that even if you're using a method 1, which is this one, as well as method 1, we're getting 85 degrees, as well as even if you're using method number 2, you're going to get 85 degrees. So this is to show you that our answers are correct. Now let's continue. After getting that, let me now erase this, just that I'm showing so that you don't struggle to see which angle is close to that one. So after getting that, we are now having our angle C1, we are now having our angle A2, and then it basically means to say I can concentrate on this entire triangle, the one that I'm drawing. You see this entire triangle. So I'm having angle B4, which is the unknown inside the triangle, which is this angle. I'm going to find that using sum of angles in a triangle. So we're going to say B4 plus A2 plus C1 is equals to 180, sum of angles in a triangle. So to make your work to be much neat, you can just say in triangle ABC, what happens in triangle ABC? We know that angle B4 plus angle A2 plus angle what? Angle C1 is equals to 180 degrees. Remember, each and every statement should be accompanied by the result. That is sum of angles in a triangle is equals to 180 degrees. Then after that, we want B4, which is unknown. We're going to say B4 plus, what did we get with regards to angle A2? So A2, we got 70. So we're going to write 70 degrees. Write 70 degrees plus C1, we can see we got 85. 85 is equals to 180 degrees. So for the sake of continuation, I'm just going to try to utilize this space right here. So, okay, let me rewrite that. Remember now we are having B4 plus what? Plus 70 degrees plus what? Plus 85 degrees. 85 degrees is equals to 180 degrees, right? Then we're going to say angle B4 plus, then we add 70 plus 85. 70 plus 85 degrees, we're getting 155. So that will be 155 degrees is equals to 180. Then we can say B4, it's equals to 180 degrees. You take 155, you transpose it to the other side, changes the sign to become negative, minus 155. Therefore, the size of angle B4 is equals to, we say 180 minus 155. 155 is equals to 25. 25 degrees. So it means to say the size of angle B4 is 25 degrees. So if you want here, you can just say that is 25. Because that's the angle that we just got now, being 25 degrees, right? And then there are many ways in which you can solve angle B1. I'm going to show you two methods. So the first method, you can see that these are some of angles on a straight line. B1 plus B4 plus 85, it's 180 degrees. So you can use that method. So I'm just going to show you method number one. So we're going to add all those angles that I've just mentioned, which is B1. I'm just going to say angle B1 plus what? Plus angle B4 plus angle B4 plus angle what? Plus angle 85 is equals to 180 degrees. What are those? Some of an angles on a straight line. So it's going to be adjacent angles on straight line. So we know that adjacent angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. Then our angle B1 is the one that we want. So it means to say that will be angle B1 plus angle B4 is the one that we recently got, which is what? 25 degrees plus 85 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. Then you're just going to say angle B1 plus, then you add the 2, which is 25 plus 85. That's going to be 110. 110 degrees is equals to 180. Then it's going to be B1 is equals to, right, 180 degrees. You take 110, you transpose it that side, it changes the sign to become minus 110. Therefore, angle B1 is equals to 180 minus 110. We are getting what? 70 degrees. Do you see? So it means to say you can go there on the diagram and write your angle. So our angle B1, let me double check. We're getting 70 degrees, or we got 70. So that will be 70 degrees, of which is correct. So let me now show you another method, method number 2, with regards to solving the size of angle B1. Size of angle B1. So that is going to be method number 2. You see how I teach? I teach using many methods so that you don't struggle, right? So that you don't struggle with regards to which angle should we use, right? So method number 2, what am I going to say? Remember, when we go to the diagram, let me show you. We are having our parallel lines. We are having our parallel lines. So this line is parallel to that, right? So it means to say this B1 is equals to 70. Alternating angles are equal. Do you see? So you can just say B1 is equals to 70. Alternating angles are equal. So B1 is equals to 70 degrees. Angle B1 is equals to 70 degrees. What is the reason? Alternating angles are equal. So if you're using method number 2, you're going to get 70 degrees. Even when you're using method number 1, you're going to get 70 degrees. This is to show you that I teach. Ne? And after getting 70 degrees, what angle are we left with? Let's double check. So what angle are we left with? Oh, we're left with B2. So these are adjacent angles on a straight line. I didn't see it coming. So B2 plus 85 is cos 180 degrees. Adjacent angles on a straight line. So you're gonna say angle B2 gonna say angle B2. Let me do like this because it's very important that each and every statement you're writing, you write the reason. Because if you're not gonna write the reason, it means to say your answers are gonna be wrong with regards to that. Your answers are gonna be wrong. And one thing that is very important is that each and every time they give you any geometrical rider question, as long as you can be able to locate it, okay, this is where I need to start, this is where I need to end, this is what I need to use, then you're gonna be on the correct side of things. And a lot of learners who struggle with geometry is because of they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start, right? So I've just showed you what you need to do and make sure that whatever I've just taught you, you are able to solve it. Still fixing my writing pad here. Yeah, so I think we're almost there. Let me go back. So here, remember I said we're gonna say B2 because, okay, let me show you another concept again. We're gonna say B2 plus 85 is equals to 180 degrees. You can see that that is an angle on a straight line. So we're gonna say angle B2 plus 85 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. Each and every statement should be accompanied by the reason. So that is adjacent angles on a straight line. Angles on STR, which is straight line. Then after that, you can now solve the value of the unknown, which will be using angle B2. It's equals to 180 degrees. Then it's minus 85 degrees. Therefore, the size of angle B2 is going to be equals to 180 minus 85. 180 minus 85. That's 95 degrees. So after getting B2, you can go on the diagram and write it to say, you know what? Size of angle B2, what did we get? The size of angle B2, we got 95. So you're going to write 95. Do you see? And then after that, you can consider getting B3. B3, you're going to get 85 degrees because those are vertical opposite angles. So you remember that I said when two straight lines intersect, the vertical opposite angles are equal. So these are two straight lines which are intersecting. Then B3 is equals to 85. That will be vertically opposite angles are equal. So you're gonna say B3 is equals to 85. B3 is equals to 85 degrees. You know why? It's because of those are vertically opposite angles equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. And then that's not only the method that you can use. Another second method, you can just say B2 plus B3 is equals to 180. So that's method number 2 again. So that is method number 2 of solving the size of angle B3. Method number 2 of solving this. Solving the size of angle what? B3. Because we are not going to view our answers or see our answers the same. Hence, I'm showing you method number one, method number two. If you're in an exam, you can use the method that you best understand. So I'm gonna say B2 plus B3 is equals to 180. Let me show you, because these are angles on a straight line. B2 plus B3 is equals to 180. So I'm just gonna say angle B2 plus angle B3 is equals to 180 degrees. You know why? It's because of these are sum of angles on a straight line. Sum of angles on straight line. Then after that, as you now continue, let's check what is the size of angle what? The size of angle B2 we got 95. So I'm getting here, okay, let me write it here. I'm getting B2 plus angle B3 is equals to 180 degrees. And then we got B2, which is 95. You substitute it. You say 95 plus angle B3, it's equals to 180 degrees. Then you say is angle B3, it's equals to, you're going to write 180 degrees minus 95 degrees. Why is it minus? It's because of when you take it, transposing it on the other side changes the sign to become negative. Therefore, the size of angle B3 is equals to, we say 180 minus 95. 180 minus 95, we're getting 85 degrees. That will be 85 degrees. So that's why here I'm saying even we got even 85 by using method number one, which is vertical opposite angles, which is this method right here. Let me show you, which is us using this method. So after that, what angle are we left with? B3 actually is the one that we got now, which is 85. So here we know that we are having 85 degrees. That is 85. Let me write it properly. So this is 85 right here. Not only that, we can also use method number three, which is angles around the point. So that's going to be method number three. Method number three of solving the size of angle B3. Of solving the size of angle B3. It will be us saying we know Uguti angles around the point is what? Is 360 degrees. So we'll say B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4 plus 85. So B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4. Remember, you are adding all these angles. B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4 plus 85. Plus 85 should be equals to 360 degrees. Why is it 360? Those are angles around the point. Angles around a point. So angles around the point always add up to 360 degrees. So the next step is a matter of us substituting. What is the surface of angle B1? We got 70. So you're just gonna say 70 degrees. Just gonna say 70 degrees plus angle B2 we got 95. You're gonna say 95 degrees plus angle B3 we got 85. In actual fact, let me see. Yeah, maybe B3 you don't substitute it because I'm showing you how to calculate the size of angle B3 right here. So just leave it as B3 because I'm just showing you how to solve B3. So there's no way I can substitute it. Plus, let's see, before we got 25, right? Then you're gonna say plus what? 85 that you are having plus 2, 360 degrees. So now you're gonna say you are adding all those angles, 70 plus 95 plus 25 plus 85. That is 270. 275 degrees plus B3. Remember, Nkiri, you added 70 plus 95, plus 25 plus 85. We got 275. Then we say plus B3 equals to 360 degrees. And then that will be what? That will be us now saying the size of angle B3 is equals to 360 degrees minus 275 degrees. Therefore, the size of angle B3 is equals to 360 minus 275. 360 minus 275. That is 85. So do you see that I'm teaching you many ways to kill a cat? So that is method number 3, we got 85. Method number 2, which is this one, we got 85. Method number 1, we got 85. So there's no way you can struggle maths as I'm teaching you. So if you want to join my online lessons, just visit um, our TikTok account. You'll find my numbers there. Drop me a text on WhatsApp. So we're done calculating P3. We're done calculating C1 and C2. The only angle that is left, that is, okay, we're left with what? We know good, okay, these are parallel lines again. Let me show you. These are parallel lines. So there is an F that I'm drawing there. So we know good this C2 is going to be equals to D1. That is corresponding angles equal. So we're going to say angle C2 angle C2 angle C2 is equals to D1, corresponding angles equal. It's equals to D1. So that will be corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal because each and every statement should be accompanied by the reason. Then from here you substitute. Our C2 is 95. Our C2 is 95. When I say 95 degrees, it's equals to D1. Therefore, the size of angle D1 is equals to 95 degrees. And then after getting that 95 degrees, let me erase. Then you go there on the diagram. You can consider writing it if you want. So here we know that, okay, this is going to be 95 degrees. And then you can calculate the size of angle D2 using sum of angles on a straight line. So it's going to be 20 plus D2 plus D1, or D1 plus D2 plus 20 is equals to 180. So I'm going to say D1 plus angle D2 plus what? D1 plus D2 plus 20 degrees is equals to 180 degrees, because those are sum of angles on a straight line. It's going to be adjacent angles on a straight line. Then after that, you now substitute. So our D1 we got 95. So it's going to be 95 degrees plus, are we solving D2? Yes, we want to get angle D2. So I'm just going to say angle D2 plus 20 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. And I'm going to say D2 plus, and then I'm going to add 90 plus 20. I'm going to add 95, so to say, plus 20, it's 115. 115 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. And I'm going to say angle D2 is equals to 180 degrees minus 115 degrees. Therefore, size of angle D2 is equals to 180 degrees minus 115. So that will be 65. So got 65 degrees. If you want, you can go to the diagram. Here you write 65 degrees. You can write 65 degrees. This angle is 65 degrees. And then after that, what basically you can see, we are left with D3 and D4. So we know that these two are going to be vertical opposite angles are equal. D3 is equals to D1. Vertical opposite angles are equal. D3 is equals to D1. So angle D3 is equals to angle D1. That will be vertically opposite angles equal. Right. And then our D3, D1 is 95. So in the place of D1, we're going to put 95 degrees. So this one, it will be D3. Right. Then after that, what basically you can do, you can solve D4 by saying D3 plus D4 is equals to 180, sum of angles on a straight line. I'm just going to say angle D3 plus angle D4 is equals to 180 degrees. So that will be adjacent angles on a straight line. Adjacent angles on straight line. Then after that, what basically going to do, that will be 95 degrees plus D4 is equals to 180 degrees. Then that will be D4 is equals to 180 degrees minus what? Minus 95 degrees. Therefore, size of angle D4 is equals to, let's now subtract 180 minus 95. That's 85 degrees. So we got 85 degrees. So it means to say all the angles that were required for us to find, we did calculate them. It's a one and only maths favorite teacher, guys. Stay tuned for more.